Well, as I show you this incredible carved pumpkin, I just want to let you all know that standing right next to it is, hello, Ray. How you doing?
All right, how are you?
The greatest pumpkin carver in the world. And don't just ask me. You were saying that if people go onto Chat GPT, it says, you just go to Arizona and find Ray Villifane.
Yeah, it says, I asked ChatGPT who's the most magical pumpkin carver in the world, and it said me.
Well, I'm not surprised because we've been watching you work over the years. So tell me a little bit about what you're doing here, and then we're going to tell folks about when they come out to see you out in the Wickenburg area, they can learn a lot about Arizona's history when they come out there. So what are you doing?
Yeah, so right now I'm blocking in a pumpkin with some tools no knives, just kind of clay loops, like pottery tools.
Okay.
And pumpkins and you know what, the neat thing about, crazy thing actually.
Yeah.
It reminds me I am meant to be where I'm at. That
Right.
Before the gold was discovered in Wickenburg.
Okay.
And the town named Wickenburg after Henry Wickenburg.
Yeah.
Before that happened, the area was known as Pumpkin Patch by the native Yavapai.
Wow.
How crazy is that?
Okay, so now as we take a look at exactly what Ray is doing here, and it is amazing. Now, when I take a look at this guy right here, by the way, do you name your pumpkins? Does this fella have a name?
That guy doesn't have a name. I do name most of my characters. Sometimes if I'll write a little poem or a story and I'll put a name, but I have not named this guy.
Okay, so I would suggest Hooner.
Nice.
This is so great. Okay, so over the many years, by the way, it took you about how long to create him?
That one was about 6 hours.
About 6 hours.
Most pumpkin carvings
Yes.
to that level
Yeah.
are about, I would say, 4 to 6 hours.
Okay, so here is the really cool thing about Ray, and he is now so connected to the history of Arizona because of where you have to go find him, which is an authentic old ghost town. So Ray, tell us a little bit about what's going on out there.
So I could go on forever on this one because
Okay.
on so many levels. I'm like, when I said the name was Vulture City.
Yeah.
Well, I was working on a story with my characters about 2 years ago about mining magic. Hadn't even thought about a real mine at the time.
Okay.
And I just serendipitously met the owner of this ghost town.
Sure.
And when I went and visited the ghost town, like
Right.
it just fit the vibe of my work.
Yes, it does.
It had a history of being called Pumpkin Patch. My name was called. He told me, he says, I have a little area in the original workshop that you could use. We're not using it. I walked into there. My name was carved into the wall, into an 1890s.
What?
Yes, my
What?
name. Yes.
How? Why? What's the story?
The universe. It was carved many years ago, but it was right there. My name was on the wall there.
Okay, so meaning that somebody had that name from the old gold mining days, or what?
I like to. Well, I think it was carved. It says Ray 91, probably carved
Okay.
in 1991. But
Okay.
my wife likes to tell me, "Hey, this building was built in the 1890s.
Right.
Maybe one of the persons who
Okay.
built it
Okay.
in 1891 carved their name.
Could
So,
have been your
could have
namesake.
been.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So tell us a little about, it's called Vulture City,
Yes.
right? Tell us about the history. In fact, let's start with, because anybody here in Arizona has heard of Grand Avenue.
Yes.
Well, here's the connection to where, if you go all the way out there far northwest into the valley and you take Grand Avenue, there's a story that connects it all.
It takes you right to Wickenburg.
Yeah.
And back in the day,
Meaning the gold mining days.
Yeah, gold mining days,
Okay.
yeah. Abraham Lincoln was president at the time.
Okay.
And the mine was getting started. There was a Jack Swilling. Wait.
Yes, right.
it?
Yeah. Yes. I
think that's the guy who
early Phoenix guy. Yeah.
He came out to this area to help start the agriculture area, start up the canals and stuff that he had found, the abandoned canals, to supply agriculture to some of the areas such as Wickenburg.
Right.
And Grand Avenue is the main throughway connecting the mine at the time
Okay.
to Phoenix, which really, I mean, I think Wickenburg was between Wickenburg and I believe Prescott were in the running to be the state capital at the time.
I can believe that, right?
So there's a ton of history out there.
But let me just ask one thing here, so I'm sure. So Grand Avenue, which runs from downtown Phoenix, 7th Avenue in Van Buren, on a
to
due
Wickenburg.
northwest line, had to be built in order to get people all the way out where the gold was.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah. Takes you straight into Wickenburg.
Yeah.
Right into Wickenburg.
Okay.
Heart of Wickenburg.
Yeah, and Wickenburg was a kind of a wealthy city back in the day because there was gold on those hills.
Yeah.
Yes?
Wickenburg was I think that they say that the ghost town, like 2,000 to 5,000 people worked it at the time. I mean, right now it's there's the town of Wickenburg, which is outside of the mine, which is but it's a ton of history there.
Right.
And it is also Arizona's most productive gold strike. So and it still operates mining gold, and now mining magic.
Yes.
So that's what we do out there
Which
right
is
now.
you. Where's your phone? I want to look at some of those pictures. All right, one more look over here at this guy, which I'm still trying to get Ray to call him Hooner. We don't know
I
if
like
that's...
that name.
Do you? Okay. All right, now we're getting somewhere. Anyway, show us a few pictures of what you've got going out there, because what you've done is gone out to a ghost town with more than a dozen buildings, but you're trying to create something that kind of will elevate the history, I guess, of everything
so
that's out there.
one of my most recent things that we're having a grand opening this October.
Yeah.
I built using lumber that I found, old rusted nails that I found, a tire for a window.
Right.
Everything on this, absolutely everything, is built from stuff that I pulled out of the boneyard there.
Wow.
And it's
look
an
at
old
this.
little mining truck.
How long did it take you to build that?
It was a couple months, few months.
It looks like a world-class movie set when I'm looking at it,
thank
right?
you. Yeah, and there's more of this there.
Okay, show me more. Show me more.
All right, so...
And everybody watching.
Let me go to my favorites here.
Okay, yeah.
Like here, just the other day, I built a mine shaft door. Let's see, in front of... Well, here we go, man. That's not my favorites.
Okay.
I have a lot of... For that truck, I needed to have... this is a fancy... I needed an outdoor hot tub, so I pulled an old tub out of the boneyard. I built a little fireplace underneath it and have a watering can. So it's very... I like to say that things are whimsically wicked.
Yeah. This is incredible. Look at that. So in order to get out there, you can take Grand all the way to Wickenburg, and then you go down Vulture Mine Road?
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yep, absolutely.
Or you can also take the 10 out to Tonopah and just head north, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's see.
So here's that little house that we just showed you on the hill.
Yeah.
And then here's some of the Halloween stuff that I have going up right now.
Now, you said which you're number one as far as we know. I've never met anybody better than you, but you'll have some world-class pumpkin carvers who are going to be there the last part of October.
So the last 2 weekends of October, I've brought in some of my colleagues who also carve pumpkins.
Yeah.
And we will be carving pumpkins and celebrating Halloween like no other place on the planet. It'll be ground zero for whimsically wicked Halloween celebration.
That's so great. Now, tell us just a little bit about the history that first attracted you to that area, because there are over a dozen buildings that are historical all the way back to the Gold Rush days.
Yeah. So I was unaware of all. It wasn't like I got attracted there like through my awareness. Like the universe brought me there.
Okay.
I was working on a story.
Yes.
I had applied for SpaceX. Is one of their biggest funders is a Japanese billionaire who pledged an undisclosed amount of money, and in return he has all the seats to the first manned orbit of the moon.
Oof.
He held a worldwide contest for 8 creatives
Yes.
to apply, to go orbit the moon, get
Yes.
inspired, come back, create something, and share it with the world.
All right.
I applied for it.
Yes.
I didn't make it. I made it to the third round, though.
Okay.
And during that time, I came up with this idea that I would tell a story about mining magic.
Okay.
And so in the summer of, I think it was 2021,
Okay.
I dove into this idea of mining magic. I was never thinking of actual mine.
Yeah.
I was thinking the moon.
Yeah.
When I didn't get accepted for the project, literally 2 weeks later, serendipitously met the owner of this ghost town.
Yeah.
And I realized, my God, I could continue my story with a real mine.
And places that people can come out and
Yes.
actually enjoy.
Oh, I enjoy how the universe unfolded. My
So great.
story way better
Yeah.
than the other way. I mean,
Yeah. What are some of the buildings that are out there? So people want to go out and they want to see true Arizona history that goes back to the 1890s. What's out there?
we have one of the first double-story buildings in the state of Arizona.
Okay.
Built in, I believe, 1870 something. It is a stone building. It's the assay building. It's where they stored and measured the gold.
Yeah.
And it's just countless artifacts.
Yeah.
There's the original brothel of the mine. There's the original doctor's office.
There was a brothel right at the mine.
Yes.
You didn't even have to drive into Wickenburg.
That's right. Yeah,
or hike in.
It was right next to the bunkhouse where the workers. And in 1911, 1913, there was the chief assayer at the mine kept a good diary, took photos, and so we have a lot of history of the place, and we have a lot of those stories and those photographs posted all around.
Yeah.
Just a tremendous amount of history that a lot of people are unaware of.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think if you ask people, where do you have to go to find the history of gold in Arizona, most people would say, oh, but the superstitions, right?
Yeah,
I got to
yeah.
go find the Lost Dutchman gold mine. But in fact, just gold mine anywhere in the state, or back then the territory, was right up there in
Vulture
Wickenburg.
City, yeah.
Okay.
Matter of fact, they believe that some of that gold that was the Lost Dutchman gold was taken from Vulture Mine.
Really?
Yeah, there's lots of stories about that.
That's so great. Okay, so just tell me as we wrap it up here, say take a look at this friendly fella here. A couple more questions. How do people find it? Like if you were going to go Google map it, what would you be looking for?
So you would go to Vulture City Ghost Town.
Okay.
And it's just 12 miles southwest of Wickenburg on Vulture Mine Road.
Vulture Mine Road.
If you're coming from the Phoenix Valley, depending on where you're at, you're going to want to go, maybe you might take the 10 straight out to Tonopah and then head north.
Yeah.
Or if you're a little bit further up in the central part of the valley, perhaps you're going to go up Grand to Wickenburg to Vulture Mine Road. And a beautiful, absolute stunning drive. Vulture City is out in the middle of, matter of fact, Maricopa County right now is turning Vulture Peak into a county park. So there'll be lots of anemones, camping, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful area.
You are a great storyteller, and you are a master carver. I hope everybody's enjoyed this. So it's especially if you want to head out that way. I guess you can go out any day, but if you really want to see the extravaganza, it's the last 2 weekends of October.
Yes.
Correct.
Last 2 Friday, Saturday, and Sundays of October. Okay. There is a morning and evening show. So you have to get tickets. So it's either, I believe it's 9 to 2:30 and then 3:30 to 9 p.m.
Ooh, that's the spookier one.
Yeah. It's always nice to have that twilight, and so you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's two shows, day and evening.
That's Saturday and Sunday of the last 2 weekends.
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Ray, you're amazing, buddy.
Thank you.
Thanks for spending some time with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me out.